slide?
Yes,
PowerPoint?
give me a moment, please.
Thank you.
Yes, Professor Toshio.
Okay. Okay, thank you very much. Sounds good. Okay. So, hi everybody. I'm Toshio Fukuda. I'm a pleasure of serving as a 2020 IT President and Chief Executive Officers of ITP. As an ITP Life Fellow, I've been a member for over 40 years. I'm honored to be the first ITP President from Region 10, supported by all of you in Region 10. Thank you very much. So I hope everyone is doing well, staying healthy during these of coronavirus. This global health crisis is a unique challenge that has impacted many members of ITP family. I'd like to thank everyone, members, volunteers, professional staff, for your understanding, flexibility, and strength in these trying times. It's very, very impressive to see our communities working together to support ITP to continue to support our members throughout this pandemic. I applaud all the ONE committee members of this SYWL in Bangkok for their hard work and dedication in moving this year's conference to completely online virtual event. Region 10 Congress provides a great forum for collaboration among many diverse ITP members across Region 10. So we have young women, men just starting to explore education and career possibilities within engineering and technologies. Active engineer currently working in industry, in government, in academia. So, and retired professional with a wealth of acquired knowledge to share. And all the members are welcome here. Next slide, please. I'd like to talk about engage globally and empower locally. Our international membership is the heart of I2P. I have always been interested in exploring new opportunities to leverage the technology to empower us to collaborate, communicate, connect both globally and on the local level. It is also important for I2P to engage diverse audiences to attract and retain new members. Today, young professionals, students, women in engineering, entrepreneurs, and engineers, technologies, and life members working across a wide range of industries are all looking for new ways to engage with I2P through networking and special learning opportunities. We also need to continue to engage with and welcome a community for I2P as a membership expand in India, China, and across Africa and South America. I'd like to also encourage all the members to join Technical Society. Being a member of I2P Technical community deepens your engagement with I2P. Members who are both engaged locally and involved with technological society have a great affinity for I2P and often enjoy their membership much more. Out of this environment, I2P membership become even more valuable. Next slide, please. As I talk about our new normal. As the world adapt to new modes of living as a new normal, technologies that enable us to work, study, shop, and interact virtually have seen a rapid increase in mainstream adoption in our daily life. Example includes the use of internet-based tools for remote learning at the university and pre-university levels, the use of mobile computing application to support contact tracing, the use of mobile computing, wireless telecommunications, and sophisticated algorithms to support online retail, distributed logistics, and food delivery at scale, the shift of knowledge work to remote video conferencing and collaborative software platform, and also growth of telemedicine and accelerated adoption of internet-based art and entertainment, including online concert, streaming video, and interacting gaming. During the recent months, many of our community have moved to virtual platform to conduct meetings, classes, workshops, seminars, even conferences. These two have gained greater popularity now. With so many of our members, especially students, becoming required to stay at home, we need to think about the best way for them to use this time to their advantage to continue their education and professional development, and very importantly, to continue their engagement with I2P. What new educational resources can be implemented to support our members' lifelong learning goals? At I2P, we need to create new opportunities to ensure we are engaging our members wherever they are, and that we are continuing to meeting their changing needs. Next slide, please. I will talk about inclusion at I2P. Inclusion is making sure that all of our diverse members are receiving the full benefits of their I2P membership. For example, when women engineering technologies are excluded from participating in I2P leadership roles or invited to distinguished lectures and speakers at conferences, that means they are not receiving the full benefit of their I2P membership. If individuals from specific I2P region are rarely nominated for major award, they are not getting full benefit of their membership. It is critical for I2P members and volunteers require recruitment, retention, and engagement that all of our diverse members feel engaged and included and know how about numerous opportunities that are available to them. Next slide, please. I'd like to talk about mission of I2P members. I2P is unique in that our members create so much of organization values. Whether they are writing papers, editing journals, building curriculum, chairing organizing conferences and meetings, developing standards, promoting education, or meeting policy makers in capital around the world, I2P volunteers and members do it all. Our engaged and inspired members make I2P a unique, respected voice. I2P as an institute is centered on our members who create the value of I2P, guides the organization direction, and allow I2P to have such a strong impact on the world. My years of membership and volunteer service at I2P have reinforced for me the relevance and importance of professional associations. In being part of a group of people who share this purpose that goes beyond our own personal interests and current careers. I'd like to talk next slide. Next slide, please. of cooperative environment. Our strength is in our community. We are at our best when we have active collaboration, communication, and cooperation among all of our units, whether it is board, societies, section, or regions. Working together, we can increase the value of IEEE membership. Next slide, please. The advancement of scientific and technical knowledge and the work of expanding and accepting technology for the benefit of humanity is the greatest work and the greatest humanity calling over our time. I'd like to thank you all very much for inviting me to join today. Stay safe and well. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you very much, Professor Fukuda, for the address to us for the Region 10 SYWL. Yeah. Next, I would like to invite Professor Kukjin Chung, IEEE MGA Vice President, and also he's our former Region 10 Director as well. So, Professor Kukjin, please with your presentation.
Thank you. So can I have my files loaded?
Yes.
Okay, great. Thank you. Good afternoon, good morning, and good evening. It is my great honor to talk about IEEE member and geographic activities in 2020 SYWL Congress in Region 10. And I want to congratulate and appreciate the organizing committee for their great work. Next slide, please. Again, you are seeing the same picture. So it was like a festival, and I think we'll have a virtual festival, in this 2020 SYWL Region 10 Congress. Next slide, please. As you know, there are 6 organizational units in IEEE, and MGA is one of them. Those units include section, subsection, council, chapter, affinity groups, student branches, SP chapters, and SP affinity groups. Next, please. IEEE MGA is focused on supporting and meeting the members' needs and IEEE membership recruitment and retention strategies and implementation. And there are, again, many local geographic organization units. And so the members can attend technical presentations. And again, as President Fukuda mentioned, the networking, and then participate in the volunteer positions. Next slide, please. IEEE MGA is focused on supporting MGA has a vision to ensure quality member opportunities through continuous engagement, and its mission is to inspire, enable, empower, engage members of IEEE. And this slide shows several goals of MGA nowadays, including the engagement and collaboration and the efficiency. Okay, next slide, please. MGA is now providing services and programs to IEEE members, and that includes member and membership development, member research, member product portfolio management, IEEE.TV, and MGA also manages the annual membership cycle, as you know. MGA is running IEEE Member Contact Center and Collaboratech. MGA also operates 12 committees, including Student YP, WI, and LMAG, and they publish Potentials and WI magazines. Many of you are either senior member or fellow of the IEEE from the MGA Elevation Support. And GeoUnit operation is quite diverse, and volunteers can get a wide variety of resources from Center for Leadership Excellence. And the selected volunteers may be able to get a training from VOLT program. So, I think many of you are aware of the V-Tools, eNotice, and OU Analytics. So the IEEE member can enjoy a lot of programs and products, from the MBA. Next slide, please. As of 2019, there are over 10,000 geographical units in 8 categories with 342 sections, about 2,500 chapters, and about, as in this slide, about 2/3 of the whole unit are related to student activities. So the MGA is really, focused on student members because they are the future of the IEEE. Next slide, please. At this moment, I really appreciate all the great effort of all the volunteers and staffs in this COVID-19 situation. Next slide. Okay, IEEE membership was 419,000 as of December last year. And we see the steady growth in Region 10. But the membership is declined this year due to COVID-19 again, and especially in student membership. And the Region 10 is not doing well in terms of the membership. And I'd like to ask you to promote membership, but I know it is not simple, and easy because of the special circumstances. Next slide. USA holds 50% of higher grades members and 83% of life members, while Region 10 has about 50% of the total student membership. So each region and each country has a very unique characteristic in terms of the membership. So we see a lot of potential in some countries, and while the sustaining a membership in some countries as well. Next slide. In terms of a student membership, India has the largest membership, followed by US and China. This slide also shows the membership increase in the last decade, and Tunisia and China show a pretty big increase. Next slide. In terms of the section membership, Santa Clara Valley section in California, Region 6, is still the biggest, but followed by Beijing section quite closely. And as of last year, 6 sections in Region 10 are in the top 10 list. But I would expect the number will decrease this year because of this, the declining membership in Region 10. Next slide, please. Well, you can see the China, has a 300% increase in terms of the total IEEE membership, and quite many of them are higher grade members in China. So this membership characteristic is different from India. Next slide. Then why people join IEEE? I think most of you are aware of some of the benefits, but I won't go over the IEEE benefits again. As an IEEE member, you can enjoy premium technical journals, conferences, and education training materials, as Professor Fukuda mentioned. He also enjoys the professional networking and learn about the success story of other members in the world. You also get the discounts. Next slide. And if you extend the benefits for IEEE members, then you can make a whole circle of advantages, as in this slide. So you can enjoy, many of these benefits and advantages for being an IEEE member. Next slide. Yeah, well, MJ offers many programs and activities, like a member get a member, IEEE Day, and photo contest. And many of you are expecting the thrills of the extreme, contest this year on October 24. Okay, next one, please. Yeah, well, today you'll hear a lot of excellent programs and activities of YP, WI, LM, and SEC from those committee chairs. This slide, shows only one activity from each committee. So I'll basically skip because of the time. The next slide. Yeah, I have two more slides now. I think you want to know about the Sections Congress. In 2017, the Sections Congress was held in Region 10 in Sydney, Australia, for the first time, and the SC 2020 was originally planned in August this year in Canada. But due to the COVID-19, the face-to-face meeting was canceled, and the MGA board considered Sections Congress 2020 event options in June board meeting and decided that virtual 2020 recommendation process would be conducted in this year, and the SC 2020 would be held as one or more virtual events over the next 12 months. So from the September to the August next year. And the board also decided to have next Sections Congress as planned for 2023. So we'll have the next Sections Congress in 3 years. The SC 2020 committee plans existing virtual SC events and schedule. The virtual recommendation process was held between September 1 and then 15. And top 3 recommendations were voted by primary delegates and announced on September 15, which we receive, the mail very shortly. And the SC 2020 virtual event will start in 2020 and continue, to 2021. And the SC committee is reviewing the, most impactful format, training content, and timeline to provide virtual training opportunities. I think, the one training session will be held early next January, according to the SC committee. Okay, next slide. Well, local IEEE Geo units may have technical intent, and NGA collaborates with TAP for providing platforms for these needs. The tentative name of this unit is local group, and IEEE local groups are composed of IEEE and non-IEEE members who come together to explore a common area of interest, which can be technical or even non-technical. So these groups communicate and collaborate either face-to-face or through the technology-based platforms. You can see some local groups already in operation, as in this slide, and some of examples of new requests for local groups on the right side. Each local groups only needs 2 petitioners with minimum qualification, and it is not a permanent unit like chapter. So this initiative will be discussed in November IEEE board meeting and hope to be approved by the board. Yeah, thank you very much for your attention. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Professor Kukjin Chung, for the address from the NGA, and also I would like to thank you all the address that happened in earlier. So before we move to the start of the inauguration process by for coordinator, so I would like to take this moment shortly for everyone on the panel to turn on the camera so we can have a very brief group photo. Yeah, so please help turn on the camera. Okay, so Ewell, can you help also take the group photo from the host view? Okay, 1, 2, 3. Ewell, you already have taken, right?
Yes, I have taken the picture.
Okay, yeah, thank you very much. So now I would like to invite Professor Hugh Tan Bin and Ms. Savita. So the regional student activity committee chair and the regional student representative to take over and then introduce about the SAC program. Professor Bin and Savita, please.
Thank you, Supavadi, for introduction. Ewell, can you do have to share the slide?
Yes, sure. Give me a moment, please. Professor Bin, please.
Yeah, Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Huỳnh Thị Thanh Bình. I am IEEE Region 10 Student Committee Chair 2019-2020. Welcome to all of you to SYWL 2020. On behalf of the committee, I would like to share information about IEEE Region 10 Student Activity 2020. Next. As you know, Student Activity Committee taking care of more than 18,000 students, over 1,600 student branch, and the objective of Student Activity Committee is improve the student engagement in IEEE Region 10 activity, improve student member retention rate in Region 10, reviving and closing student branch. So the committee come from Japan, India, Vietnam, Australia, Philippines, Sri Lanka, and Malaysia. And we hope that we're taking care of all the students in IEEE Region 10. This year, we conduct some projects for students. The first one is the membership development. Student ambassador program, membership drive and leadership training fund, and the second one is a webinar series. We invite keynote speaker to share information about leadership and education for students. The third activity is a regular activity, including contests and awards. And the other activity is the support NGA such award and contest. And we also support and organize the SYWL Congress 2020. For awards, this event already finished on July 2020. And for content, it will be end on October this year. And membership development, it will be end on October this year. And webinar series, it will be end on November this year. So we can see the timeline is a figure at the end of this slide. Next. For the first activity, IEEE Region 10 postgraduate research paper, this activity aims to improve the engineering student written communication skill and reporting novel and original research result for student technology community. Next. For IEEE Region 10 undergraduate project video content, this activity to improve the engineering student communication and presentation skill to a wider online viewing community, which may include technical and non-technical audience. We already announced the result as a winner for postgraduate research paper content and video contest. Next. For IEEE Regional Student Branch website contest, it held by IEEE NGA, and we already announced the result. For IEEE Membership Development and Leadership Training Fund 2020, this activity is created to pursue session student branch to organize event or training on leadership, successful execution of student branch, and to run membership drive virtually, aiming to enhance student membership number and its retention. We also announced the winner, and this year is very special. So we have a special call for proposal related to COVID-19, and we already announced the winner, and the report will be sent to us on November this year. And we also support IEEE NGA for Student Award. including 5 awards. And for IEEE Recent 10, this year we conducted 2 awards. The purpose of this award is to recognize the work done by an individual IEEE member to service to member and increase the student membership by conducting activity beneficial to student member. And there are 2 type awards this year in Region 10. Region 10 Outstanding Volunteer Award and Region 10 Outstanding Student Branch Award. And we also conduct a webinar. We invite speakers to share leadership training and education activity for students. And this year we released some operation manual, so share information and guidelines for section and student branch. And please join the IEEE Recent 10 Student Activity Committee via the call for volunteers, so you can enjoy, you can have an experience, and can learn and know more about student activity in IEEE Recent 10 as well as in IEEE student activity. And please remember that at the end of every year, please submit report and plan for next year to receive the best. So thank you so much for all of you to attend SYWL and to attend our presentation. Next, I would like to introduce SABI student representative to brief about student track.
Hi, Yvonne, can I get presenter access?
Yes. Okay, Sabi, you are the presenter now.
Thanks, Yvonne. Can you see my screen?
Yes, we can see your screen.
Okay, great. Hi, everyone. Thank you, Prof. Pin. I am Savitya. I am the Regional Student Representative of IEEE Region 10, and I'm going to brief quickly about our student track program. We have planned So we have planned 7 sessions under the student track, focusing on career development, leadership, student branch best practices, educational resources, and many more. And each of these sessions have a bonus networking time as well for the speakers and our delegates. And on top of that, we have designed 2 contests. Contest 1 focus on student activities and student branch best practices, and our contest 2 is something very interesting, is about some team building tasks for our student track delegates to work on it. And all in all, our student track program is being partnered with student branches across the region 10. I'll talk a bit more about the student branch program quickly later, but if you want to know more details about our student track, just scan the QR code that you could see in your screen to the right hand side. So the first session of our program is scheduled for tomorrow, that is 20th September. It's about IEEE HKN, formerly known as the Tapanus Society. And we are so glad that this session is designed in collaboration with IEEE HKN. Right, our second session is scheduled on 21st of September. We will be focusing more on, what are the expectations of multinational companies on fresh graduates. So we have invited speakers from Nestle, Google, Tesla. They are in different roles, start from manager to engineer to intern, and they will be sharing their experiences on expectations of multinational companies. Our session 3 is focusing on student branches. As you know, that student branches are the root of student members. So we will discuss on best practices in running student branches on 22nd of September. Session 4 is something very interesting. We will discuss more into different career areas that our students should focus into from industry perspective, academia perspective, and entrepreneurship perspective. And we are so glad that this session is designed in collaboration with IEEE Entrepreneurship, IEEE Industry Engagement Committee, and IEEE R10 Industry Relations Committee. IEEE Explore, one of the very important tools for all the students and researchers. So we will give a brief overview of new services and platforms of IEEE Explore on the 24th of September. Aspire to be the inspiring student leader of IEEE is our session number 6, scheduled for 25th of September. So here we're discussing something very interesting, like what students should have in leadership skills for a successful professional career, to IEEE CLE World Program briefing, and a very interesting panel discussion that focus on a generation-wise leadership starting from senior to young professional and student membership. Last session is COVID sharing. So Region 10 has supported COVID projects, and these project leads will be coming on stage to share their success stories on 30th of September. As I told before that we have 2 contests organized. The contest 1 is student activities and coordination contest. So it's very simple. You need to draft a poster with the best practices and activities that your student branch or section student activity has drafted over the years. And we have extended the deadline to 24th of September. So still have time, do join, because interesting prizes are on your way. Virtual NetHat is a very interesting contest. It's exclusively for student track delegates. We have teamed our delegates into groups, and they will be given some very special team building tasks. It's going to be very fun, so we are looking forward to it too. Student branch partners program. So this is something that first time been initiated in a regional umbrella. So SYWLC has been partnered with 78 student branches across the region 10. So these student branches will be helping us to stream our student track sessions across the region 10 to a wider audience over the student branch communities. Okay, I just want to say a very big thank you for our student team. They have been so hardworking, and I think I should say a very big thank you to them, starting from Pasan, Muzamil, Peshan, Dimple, Tarushi, Abdul, Shubham, Druvin Singh, Pooja, Elaine, Hani, Sheza, Akash, Tawhid, Shataz, Pranav, Chanuka, Gaurav, and Charisma. Thank you all so much for your hard work. Last but not least, thanks for our collaborators, and I wish all our delegates enjoy our program. Thank you.
Okay. So, yeah, thank you very much, Professor Tan and Savita. Okay, so next I would like to welcome the MGA Student Activity Committee Chair, Professor Elisa H. Barney Smith. So it's honored to have you with us today. So I welcome you for that address to our audience. Yeah, please.
I'm very happy to be here. I would have loved to come visit Bangkok. About 23 years ago, I was in the Bangkok airport for a meal on my way to India, but I'd love to be in Bangkok itself. But instead, I'm happy to be able to address you. Address you virtually. So greetings from Student Activities Committee. It's great to be here. As you know, we've got a lot of students in IEEE, and that was brought out earlier. The official numbers as of a week ago at the membership meeting was that we've got around 81,000 undergraduate members around the world and around 48,000 graduate student members around the world. And the number of graduate student members is growing. And we're hoping that as you graduate, that the undergraduates will become young professionals. Graduate student members already are young professionals. The numbers actually this year are a little bit lower than they were in past years because people are not renewing due to COVID. And in Region 10, your numbers are down around 19% for undergraduates and down around only 5% for graduate students. So please keep this in mind, and please, as the school years are starting up again this fall, please remind people that IEEE is still here, and we hope to see it increase as we get moving for the fall. I think it's very obvious to you that IEEE is a worldwide organization. I'm here in the Western United States in Region 6, and I was really hoping to join you live, but it's great to see you all virtually. An honor to be invited. Students are represented through the Student Activities Committee. And our mission as a Student Activities Committee is to deliver a common, high-quality student membership experience globally for lifelong professional success through IEEE membership. And if we look at this mission, how we can advance that mission is we're trying to help you remain technically current by providing you educational resources and programs. IEEE is trying to help you expand your network beyond your school. And we're hoping that IEEE will become your professional home. All of you have chosen a field, electrical engineering, computer science, or some similar field as your major. And IEEE is hopefully your professional home where you can exercise and show that you have that major and that you're happy to be a professional in those fields. Student Activities offers a lot of products for our student members. We have the Potentials magazine. We offer contests, including the Extreme Programming Competition coming up. There's a limited number of scholarships available, awards, the ability to help you put together some miniature conferences, and our brand new Virtual Speakers Bureau. And you can find out about all that IEEE Student Programs offers through the website. Take a look for the magazine, look at the different opportunities available to you, and be on the lookout for our monthly webinars. We just had the webinar on the Extreme Programming Contest that was, I think, yesterday or Tuesday. And the next one coming up is on humanitarian activities coming up in October. So we got our Potentials magazine we hope that you're reading. I've been thrilled to be able to write an editorial for the magazine every issue in the last 2 years as I've been SAC chair, and I'll be passing the torch for that over to Hassam Ali, who's also now from Region 10, who will be starting to write the editorial starting for the January issue. Contests. We have a lot of contests throughout IEEE. We're trying to curate a list of them on the students' webpage so you can see what opportunities are there. Some are offered by society, some are offered by sections or regions, and then we've got our Extreme contest, which is run by IEEE Student Programs. And we were almost at 10,000 students last year. We're hoping that you'll help us to get over that 10,000 mark this year. We had our meeting on Wednesday, and they announced that for this equivalent time last year, we're 60% higher this year, so that's a really good sign. So keep this date on your calendar. That Extreme 14.0 will take place October 24th. And we just had the webinar, and this webinar will be available on IEEE TV for the next 2 weeks. So you can tune in to see what you missed. Number of different opportunities for students. Member Get a Member was already mentioned. The photo contest was already mentioned, and IEEE Day, which is coming up really soon. We hope you got a lot of great things planned. There's lots of awards. Region 10, I think, has the largest number of applicants for these awards every year, run by student programs. So we're really glad to see all the activity in Region 10. And there's a handful of scholarships available to students. Here are some of the most well-known ones that I'm able to find. So keep your eyes open for these. IEEE provides lots of great educational resources for you. If your schooling's not enough, there's other places where you can get even more. And particularly, IEEE learning, the ILN, I think, is one of the greatest things that's come up through IEEE in recent times. Take a look at it if you need just a little bit more information for a project, or if you're trying to get some background for a job interview. It's a great place. They've gone and put all of the short courses and seminars that are offered by all the different units within IEEE all in one place. So it's one-stop shopping. Great opportunity for you. Student professional activities is something which we've been running for a long time. Adil is running that out of Region 10 as our current chair. And you can put together a half-day to a 3-day conference. Nowadays it would be virtual, but eventually it would go back to being in person. So reach out to Adil and his team if you want some support for putting a Spa X event together. Those can still be done virtually. There's nothing stopping you. And if anything, it's even easier because you have access to worldwide speakers. And the newest resource within student activities is the Virtual Speakers Bureau. This was planned before COVID. So COVID was not the reason why we have this. This was planned prior to COVID. IEEE, we keep talking about it being your source for networking. Well, here's networking in practice, where you get to invite people from around the world into your student branch to give a talk. And we've got over 200 talks available with lots of great topics. And these talks are offered in multiple languages. For any professionals who are on this webinar right now, listening, tuning in, please go and sign up to be a speaker. We'd love to have you speaking either to students in Region 10 or to students around the world. And so keep going. 2020 is on the way. Take a look at your student branch, figure out what your goals are, plan your activities, and make sure you get action plans so that it can be the best activities possible. Figure out how many true members you've got, look at how many students are actually attending, and are your events filling your members' needs? Figure out your plans. There's a lot of training available for your officers, and make sure you get all of your reporting done. Look at OU Analytics to get student counts, membership counts for your student branches. And you've got great resources with your RSECs and RSRs, including Dr. Bin and Savita here, who have been wonderful putting together a great program for you. I'm really looking forward to them doing their monthly report in October, summarizing what's going on at this particular event. I'm really excited to see the lineup they've put together for students, and I'm really looking forward to reading their October report. If you got a new student branch chair in your student branch, make sure you're setting up your account and getting going with your groups. Identify your goals, figure out how you're going to plan things. Goals are a good way to figure out where you're going to go. Member Get a Member is a good opportunity for doing membership recruiting, and you can also encourage people to give the gift of membership if people are people you want to interact with. As a student branch, plan your activities that are going to help you get to your goals. Figure out how you talk about membership to non-member students so they actually become members and not just people attending your events. Figure out how you can divide up all of your activities so you have more people participating in the planning. It's better for the leadership if you've got more people who are working on things actively. And check out the programs we've got going. I just mentioned some of them, and see how you can incorporate those into your student branch activities. So it's not going to be a typical year this year with the COVID, but that doesn't mean you have to stop. There's still a lot of stuff you can do. Look at how you can do some virtual and some socially distanced in-person events this year. There's lots of opportunities. I'm sure you can think of some more. And figure out how you're going to reach out and how to get more people there, get potential members there. You're going to have a great year. Ways of staying connected, post your events in vTools so your section members can see it, that they can come to your events. And look into Collaboratech for other places. We got the Global Student Exchange within Collaboratech. We'd love to see more posts about events that have happened from our wonderful student branches. This is here because I'm going to share the slides so you can then get access to all of these links that are very useful to have really strong student branches. And again, remember our webpage, students.ieee.org. Lots of great opportunities there for student branch information, membership benefits of being a student member, opportunities for student branches, and ways that professionals and other people can get together and help out our students be stronger. The photo contest was already mentioned, IEEE Day, great things to do to get involved. And IEEE Day is coming up soon. Make sure you submit something for the photo contest and the video contest that they've got lined up. Again, get your membership growing back now that we're up and moving. Looking forward to seeing these numbers grow again. Ways of reaching out to student programs is through Collaboratech, IEEE TV, and the students' Facebook page. We've got great support staff that's there to help you if you have any issues, if things that are not quite working right. I don't think there's time for questions in this venue, but please send me an email if you have any issues. You've got a great RSAC, a great RSR who are there to help you and can answer more of your questions. Thank you very much for inviting me. I'm really excited that you've got all these great things going. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much, Elisa. Yeah, I'm certain that information that you give very beneficial to a student branch and our student member. Yeah, so I hope they would follow up with those information. So yeah, we run a little bit behind the schedule. Okay, so I hope the following coordinator please help keep time. Next, I would like to I would like to invite Region 10 Young Professional Committee Chair Professor Takuo Suzuki to help give information about the YP track. Yeah, Professor Takuo, please.
You will give me the host presenter role.
Yes, sure. Give me a moment. Suzuki-san, you are now the presenter.
Okay, start sharing and start presentation. It's okay?
Yes, you can see
Can you
your
see
screen.
very well? Yeah,
Yes.
welcome everyone. I'm Takuo Suzuki, the chair of Region 10 Young Professional Committee this year, last year and this year. Yeah, actually I became a senior member last month. Yeah. So first of all, what is the problem in Region 10 and the most biggest problem in Region 10 YP? That is a low retention rate from student to YPs. So this year, I try to plan 3 YP sessions related to the problem, low retention rate, how to solve or how to improve this problem. The first one is related to senior elevation. I mentioned before. So to be a senior member will be a good goal for young guys at early professional career. So I try to invite Raja-san to be a presenter, and he fortunately I received his ready consent to be a presenter. So Raja-san is the best person on the globe in the world to explain the senior membership IEEE. So young guys, student, and me, YPs, and young women engineer, please join this session to learn a lot from the experienced speaker, Raja-san. And this, and for your information, this session is supported by Region 10 Student Activity Committee, WIE Committee, and Life Members Committee. Very thanks to to all the coordinators and the members. And the following session YP2 is jointly organized with Region 10 Industry Relations Committee, led by Professor Chris. So this session is related to the industry engagement, and the plenary talker speaker is Arjun. So he is a co-founder and CTO of one startup in Singapore. So he had a very good experience to be a founder and good to run a lot just after to make a startup just after graduating a doctoral course. So so if you want to make found companies after getting a degrees on something, so please join this session. And his talk is will be very attractive for them. Yeah, last one is the professional skills in activity management. I think it's a kind of administrative meeting for section YP officers, volunteers. So who is the invited speaker? His Jose Pinto is a representative for region 7 to 10. I mean the non-USA region. Yeah, I invited him from IEEE side, global side, and Jose have a lot of information about the difference our region 10, and the other region 7 to 8, 9, and also he's in charge of IEEE founding system, YP founding system. So if you want to get money or budget to make a huge event in your local section, so please attend, participate in this session and make a comment or questions to him and go to some feedback from him, I hope. So as you can see, all the sessions will be on weekend, Saturday or Sunday. I mean the first session, YP1, will be held tomorrow, Sunday, at the same time of this opening ceremony. Maybe I hope all the participants, most of the participants, can easily attend this, join this session. And the other two sessions we will hold on 3rd October, the day before the closing ceremony. So I hope you join too. In addition, we have one additional extra session with I2PYP, invited Flavia Dinka as a speaker, and she will talk about a new platform for volunteers to do volunteering effectively and efficiently. It's very it will make good impact for young guys to make to keep volunteering in hectic days, busy days like me. So yeah, this session will be held just after this opening ceremony. So after my presentation, I paste the link for registration to this session in the chat box, Q&A box. So please register for this session and enjoy this session after the opening ceremony. And unfortunately, I'm so sorry. We are so sorry to announce this. The contents and the criteria of our contest during this Congress weeks not ready to publish for all of you. So please keep your eyes on this activity, YP contest, and watch and pay attention on this contest. I will shortly announce you later, shortly after this opening ceremony. Yes, that's all from my side. So next, Flavia. It's okay.
Okay.
Yeah, that's all. That's all.
Yeah, thank you very much, Professor Takuo. So now it's also our honor to have the IEEE Young Professional Committee Chair with us today. So I would like to welcome Flavia Maria Dinka. So please give address, please, to the audience.
Thank you, Sivapadi. Thank you, Takuo, for having me today. Hello, everybody. I'm Flavia Dinka. I'm the current chair of the IEEE Young Professionals Committee. And I'll just do a very quick presentation about what exactly is Young Professionals. We've already heard quite a bit about it being presented already, but just to give you a bit of a background, any IEEE member who has graduated from their first university degree within the last 15 years is automatically counted as a young professional member. So we are not really a membership grade such as student members or graduate student members, senior members, and so forth. But we are actually a program that is free to join. If you're automatically counted as a young professional member, then you're part of the program and you do not need to do anything from your side. But anybody else is also welcome to opt in as a member, since we think it's more about mind state than your actually graduation date. So we are a very wide mix, ranging from graduate students such as master students, PhD students, all the way to people who have been in their career for 15 years now. We have individuals for both academia and industry, and everything in between. So we are a group of very diverse people within IEEE with a lot of different interests, and all around the world. Currently, we have over 96,000 members worldwide and IEEE wide. So just to give you an idea where we are around the world, Region 10 currently has the largest proportion of young professional members from amongst all the regions across IEEE, including IEEE USA. So there is a very vibrant community of young IEEE members in the Asia Pacific region. We've seen a lot of great volunteers come from this region and a lot of great activities. So I just wanted to say a huge thank you to all the volunteers we have here and the great work you are doing. And we are also across quite a few societies and councils addressing technical topics in IEEE. And what I would like to really encourage you all is to join a society, but also to expand your technical interests and explore other areas beyond what your basic technical background is. It's a great opportunity to learn new things, get to know new people, access a lot of technical content. And as it was mentioned previously in several presentations, it is a great membership benefit. If you are interested in any societies, please do reach out to us and we would be happy to put you in contact with our young professional representatives. Almost all of them have young professional targeted events such as webinars or competitions and awards. There are a lot of awards such as paper competitions and publishing recognitions for young people specifically. And this area has grown a lot over the past few years. So there's a lot of new things to explore and get involved. I'll briefly talk a bit about some of the main areas that we support as the Global Young Professionals Committee. We focus on supporting volunteers, engaging members, but also making sure that young volunteers do get the recognition they deserve within IEEE. So as Takuo mentioned, we do have an event funding portal. You can find this on our website. And it is currently open. So if you're interested in having whether virtual or in-person activities, you are welcome to apply for funding. We do have 3 types of funding, namely local activities, meetups, and STEP funding. STEP funding is perhaps the most well-known program since it's been around for quite many years now, and the idea is that we want to encourage young professional affinity groups to collaborate with student branches to introduce students to what we like to call graduation, membership after graduation. So to help them become more familiar with what they can do in IEEE once they are no longer student members, what benefits they have, how they can volunteer, the other groups within their section, how they can become involved with the Young Professionals program, and hopefully join the affinity group as well. And this was one of the early responses to, as Takuo mentioned, the retention challenge we face to keep our members once they graduate. If you have any questions about funding or event support, if you're looking for ideas, we do have a few guidelines on our website, but I would like to encourage you all to just send us an email and our funding team will be more than happy to get back to you and help you figure out any details on what you can do in these challenging times and how to best engage your members. As mentioned, Jose, who is one of the 3 team members, will give a presentation, so you can also ask him more questions live. In addition, we do have a lot of training resources on our website. We are working on a new guidebook for our affinity groups, detailing, for example, the bylaws that exist, but also best practices collected from our global community. So what we want to make sure is we do capture the wealth of knowledge and experience our volunteers have across the world, and we do help share it right across geographic boundaries. If you have any success stories, please do share them with us, and we would also be happy to forward them to the rest of the young professionals community. Looking at the topic of engaging our members, perhaps what is most popular these days is the brand new IEEE volunteering platform, and this is what's mentioned by Kukjin in his address. It used to be known as the micro volunteering program. If I remember correctly, we did talk about it during the previous SYWL Congress in Bali. And the idea is that we want to have a new platform that makes it easier for people to start volunteering and overcome some of the barriers research has indicated people face when they want to become more active in IEEE. We are going to have a short session today introducing the platform later on. But it's also currently live and you're welcome to explore it at your own leisure. We also encourage sessions at conferences and other technical activities that are tailored for the interests and needs of our young members, especially those from industry. So this is how a lot of our collaborations with technical societies and councils were born, as well as with the IEEE Entrepreneurship Initiative. And as always, we want to make sure our members have access to relevant materials and lifelong learning. So for example, we used to have a special discount for the ILN, which was previously mentioned, that was only for young professionals. However, since the pandemic started, they have decided to expand it to all of our members. There is a new initiative called the Young Academics Program. Those of you who are young professionals in academia will most likely receive a survey in the coming weeks, since we like to understand if IEEE does provide you the tools you need to grow in your academic career and how we can improve our offerings. And we also have the Impact blog, where we're actively looking for authors for technical posts, career development content, and the Volunteer Spotlight, which aims to highlight the great work our volunteers are doing. You can always submit content to us at any time. There's more information on our website. And last but not least, we want to make sure that we promote young professionals in IEEE. So what have we seen over the past 4 to 5 years is that a lot more young people are receiving leadership positions across committees within the organization. We're supporting affinity group formation. So if you would like to form an affinity group within your section, you only need 5 additional people to sign your petition. But if you have any questions, you can also reach out to us and we will help you with developing content for the petition. We support the increase of quality technical activities for young people. And of course, we do have an awards and recognition program. Our biggest award being the IEEE Young Professionals Hall of Fame. And this year, one of the 2 winning affinity groups was actually the Sri Lanka Young Professional Affinity Group, who have done an outstanding job in engaging their young audience. And lastly, just to give you a more visual idea of who the Young Professionals Committee is, this is us at the beginning of the year. We would love to hear from you if you have any questions or you need any support with anything. So please do not hesitate in sending us an email with any of your queries, and we will get back to you as soon as we can. And you can also check out our website for additional information. But this was all from my side. Again, thank you very much to all of you for having me here and organizing such a great event.
Okay, thank you very much, Flavia, for all the introduction about the effort of the young professional, and glad that you will still with us for the volunteering platform. Yeah, so Takuo has put the link to register on the web, so on the chat box. So if you're interested, please register. So next, I would like to introduce Miss Emiliano, IEEE Region 10 Women in Engineering Committee Chair, and she will give the introduction about the WE program. Amy, please.
Okay, thank you, Spavadi. Hello, everyone. I'm Emiliano, IEEE Region 10 WRI Chair. It's great to have you all here today during this very difficult situation, COVID-19. Eva, can you share that? Yeah, yes, thank you.
Yes.
This year, thank you, Eva. This year, during this very difficult situation, WRI, we have 4 new section affinity groups, Gangtu, Tokyo, and the Senior Joint Section, WRI, and the New Zealand Central, and the Shikoku, Fukuoka, Hiroshima Joint Section WRI. Congratulations. So I believe our IEEE global network and the relationship can contribute to a better future. And next page, please. And in this Region 10 Virtual SYWL Congress, WRI have 4 tracks, and I just introduce very quickly. And we have 4 tracks focusing on career development, leadership, and networking. And also there is SAC and WRI coordination contest. In session 1, we best practices, challenging, and the opportunities. We readers introduce best practices, challenges, and opportunities from their IEEE journey. And as a speaker, there are Dr. RT from Bombay section, and Dr. Mini from Kerala section, and Prof. Takako, she's the Regional Secretary and past chair of IEEE WRI, and also we have a Prof. V from Malaysia section. All speakers were winner of WRI awards. And session 2 is career development for mid-career WRI. And Lisa, Global WRI chair, will join us again and share her story at this WRI 2 session. And as a networking session, there is WRI 3. This is a WRI leaders discussion and networking. We will have 5 or 6 topics, and during the session, all WRI delegates discuss about the topics. So please join us, and let's have a great discussion and make a new network. And after that, we will share each topic's result on the we leaders recommendation section, WRI 4. So please join these 4 sessions, WRI sessions. And today we are pleased to welcome our guest, Dr. Elisa Lazarek Asanta. Please join us from UK. So Lisa, time is yours.
Thank you, Emmy. Thank you.
you.
Good morning, good afternoon,
Good
everyone.
morning.
Hi there.
Thank you so much.
Thank
joining
you
us.
for having
Yeah.
me. It's not allowing me to share screen, but I have sent in my presentation. So if you're able to upload that. Yes, it's very early here. I'll try to whisper as my daughter is
Maybe 8?
sleeping in a little bit this morning after a busy week at nursery.
Yeah, so 8:30, right?
Yes,
AM.
it's 8:30 this morning. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, can
Will you share presentation, or
Yeah,
Liz
okay.
can?
Okay, it's just given me permission to share. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. I'm going to go over a little bit about women in engineering. Here we are. Emmy, how about if you give me a thumbs up if you can see everything okay? Yes, excellent. Thank
Yes,
you.
yes. You go
Okay,
ahead.
super. This is me. I'm based in the United Kingdom in Reading. I'm going to start my stopwatch here. I'm going to speak for 15 minutes about women in engineering. My background is electrical engineering, biomedical engineering. I have roots in Canada, so my accent is very mixed between English and Canadian English. It's wonderful to see so many people here from around the globe. I'm really interested in impact lately, and even though my background is engineering, I work a lot on public engagement with science and engineering and looking at impact and knowledge exchange. There's a nice article, I'm sure you'll get a copy of these slides in the recording, but there's some more news about what WIE is doing from Spectrum lately. But let me tell you a little bit about women in engineering. I saw from the list of attendees and from the volunteers who were on this call, there's a lot of you already very knowledgeable about women in engineering, but I'm going to go briefly over what we're about in case you don't know. Women in Engineering is this global network of members and volunteers dedicated to promoting women in science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, and inspiring girls around the world to follow their academic interests in a career in STEM. And our mission is to facilitate the recruitment and retention of women in technical disciplines globally. You do not have to be a woman to join Women in Engineering. In fact, over 30% of our membership are men. And what's amazing is that you don't have to be a woman to look at equality and diversity issues. This is a global problem. It's not just a gender problem. Now, the history of the WE program is long. We turn 25 next year. I'm going to run through some of these basic slides, but the key is that we have been launched by IEEE because of the issues surrounding women in the profession. Our committee is enormous. We have voting members, around 10 people, plus a representation from every region. Emmy is our Region 10 rep and took this amazing picture of us in Portugal a few years ago. And we also have representation from almost every society and council. So like young professionals, it's an enormous committee. Our objectives are vast. We're about recognizing achievements, organizing events, advocating leadership roles, providing assistance to our affinity groups, administering programs, promoting membership grade advancement, facilitating other programs for women in engineering, and collaborating with others. Our membership is also global, and you can see for Region 10 that as of, I believe these statistics are from January 2020, Region 10 actually makes up more than 50% of our membership. So thank you, Region 10, extremely active, and we're happy to be here to speak with you. Now, depending on when you take the statistics, we have around 17 to up to 23,000 members globally. We have 900 plus affinity groups every year. As Emmy mentioned, we have some new ones that have just formed. And we just had a virtual conference with 2,800 people attending globally. And I'm going to just quickly go through some of the benefits of being a WE member, but there's a lot, as with young professional, as with students. Now, IEEE WIE membership does come with official membership benefits. Networking, I'm sure you've heard a lot of this already this morning. Subscriptions to our magazine, discounted registration. But what being a member of WIE actually really means is that you are supporting volunteers and fantastic leaders like Emmy to go out and advocate for gender equality in the profession. And there are some things that I want to talk about later in this chat that is really what your membership funds are providing. Strictly speaking, yes, you can get an award, you can get some funding, but being a part of Women in Engineering is more than that. And I'm going to talk about what we're doing in 2020. There's a lot going on with Women in Engineering. We have travel grants. There's a slide here and a link for initial and special funding for affinity groups. We provide promotional activity. You can see that we do recognition of our volunteer membership. And 2019 was a stellar year for Region 10. Not only did you win the WE Inspiring Student Member, but you also won the WE Affinity Group of the Year with Kerala and the WE Student Branch Affinity Group of the Year with Bangladesh. And we've also got a picture here of Nalia, who's our Inspiring Student Member. We do a lot with reaching out for pre-university. I mentioned girls at the beginning of the talk. And WIE is really interested because research has showed us that girls as young as 5 or 6 years of age can get turned off to the profession for various cultural reasons around the world. There are different issues in the United Kingdom, as there are in Region 10, and there are a lot of similarities as well. WIE did an interesting webinar series pilot. I've highlighted it here, not because we got 143,000 people reached with the campaign, but because we also offer these things afterwards online, and you can look at them through IEEE. There's 2 great ones here, also from our past president, Karen Bartleson, and Monique Morrow, who's the president and co-founder of the Humanized Internet. We provide leadership opportunity in addition to our conference, which I'll mention in a moment. But you can see here in 2020, we have all of these regions who have won bids to do summits to really harness local leadership and to raise the profile of women in those areas. I think a lot of them are actually going virtual this year because of the pandemic, but that doesn't mean it won't be successful, and I'll tell you why in a minute. Region 10 has been extremely active in this space. You can see 3 out of 10 come from your region. Our International Leadership Conference typically has been in California. We moved it to Austin, Texas last year in the United States of America. And this year, due to the pandemic, the San Diego Convention Center was actually housing the homeless population of San Diego during the pandemic, and I think it still is. We went virtual, and within several weeks of the decision being made, we held a month-long set of events all about leadership for women and men. We don't discriminate. We talked about empowerment, executive leadership, disruptive technology, innovation. We had over 2,800 people come to this event from all over the world. So one of the messages that I would like to share here in these opening remarks is not to discount the power of virtual. We have over 150 people on this call. Imagine what you can do when you make plans to link up with other countries and other interest groups. So the potential is huge, and I, for one, hope and think that IEEE will continue in this vein to bring our global community closer together. It's really nice not to be able to be extremely jet lagged in Region 10 while I'm making this presentation. So although it's early in the United Kingdom, it's definitely not a week away from my family to present to you all and to engage with you. I want to talk about a little bit of what we're doing in 2020. We have a lot of initiatives going in terms of our everyday activity, the business as usual for women in engineering. But as chair, I've spent a lot of time looking at what is it that we're doing and what impact are we making in this space. It's wonderful to have active affinity groups, but do we have the infrastructure to look at how many people did we reach every year? How many students did we reach? Do we know of people having their lives changed because of what we're doing? Because that is what WIE is setting out to do. We've focused very much so on a senior membership elevation campaign. In IEEE, as you may know, you can be a student and then a young professional and then a regular member. And if you've had 5 years of professional service, you can apply to become a senior member. And it is a trophy. It is, you get a certificate, you get a plaque, I should say. You get recognition, but it's also an opportunity for you to tell your employer or your manager that you have reached a certain status of engineering. You are a professional in the eyes of this membership organization. And from an IEEE perspective, what I find wonderful is that if we increase the pool of people, men and women, but especially women, because that is our focus, who become senior members, all of a sudden there is a larger pool of volunteers who are eligible for senior positions of leadership within the IEEE. And in addition to senior positions within the IEEE, they're now eligible to become fellows of the IEEE. So we're trying to increase the pool of qualified men and especially women for senior membership. If you're not a senior member and you're thinking about that on this call, do get in touch with the Women in Engineering office. We can help you elevate. I've also been focused on some governance changes with our structure. Our community has said that they would like to be empowered to vote in our own chair and also to have a treasurer as part of our structure. I've been dealing with the governance at the board of directors level. We have an in-principle approval from MGA, who's our parent body for these changes. And we'll go back to the MGA board and the board of directors in November with these requests again. Again, it's about empowerment. It's about having our voice and about growing. WIE is growing. We have over 100 affinity groups new every single year. The other thing that I've been working on are a top 5 practices that we're going to be sharing with societies, councils, and regions, and possibly even affinity groups. WIE has worked in this space for a long time, and we know what works. And one example of something that people can start doing so that you can actually feel like and be doing something in this space for equality is taking up the Women in Engineering pledge. So Women in Engineering have already made this pledge that supports the inclusion of a diverse set of speakers, which will lead to more creative, interesting, and representative panels across the IEEE. So it's wonderful already to see that for this event today, we have a mixture of men and women on the panel. And IEEE pledges to work towards gender diversified panels at all IEEE meetings, conferences, and events, including our own. And wonderfully, I can already say publicly that we have 3 very large societies who have taken up this pledge, so that when you attend their conferences for Computer Society, for the Engineering and Medicine and Biology Society, and for Power and Energy Society, that when you go to their events, a real concerted effort has been made to see gender equality in the panels. We go beyond, some people want to go beyond gender, and they should. It should be the norm to have geographical representation, to have age representation, to have profession representation. You want to be able to see people speak and lead who represent you. And that's what that pledge is about. Now, before I sum up, I wanted to give a little shout out to all of our different communication channels and how you can work with WIE. We have an award-winning magazine, and there are some links here because now some of it is available if you're not an IEEE member. We have our website. We have a newsletter. And something's gone a bit mad with my presentation. We have IEEE TV. I'm sure this has been mentioned before. We have our own channel and some excellent content that you can start looking at if you're interested in this space. And we're very active on social media. I know this session's being recorded, so I'm just going to pause here so that people can take a look at the different ways of getting in touch. And thank you so much. I wish you a wonderful event moving forward. I will be attending the Career Development for Mid-Career WIE session for this Congress next Saturday, which will be a little bit later in the afternoon for me. And thank you so much.
Okay, thank you very much, Elisa, on behalf of the organizer, and glad you give an address. And of course, many of we members have followed many initiatives and activities. Okay, now I would like to invite Region 10 Life member committee chair, Dr. Rajendra Astana, okay, to give an overview about the Life member program in this Congress. Dr. Astana, please. You have to unmute.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Thank you, Dr. Subhavadi. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to all of you, depending on where is your location. I am Rajendra K. Asthana, Chair, Life Member Committee, and we have divided this Congress in 5 life member tracks. The first track is on 27th, which states about the sharing of IEEE success stories by 3 life members. One is a life fellow, another is life senior member, and one is life member from Hong Kong, India, and Korea. Then other sessions we have planned is about IEEE life member processes and activities. What all we are doing, that is planned for 29th, where we'll be talking to all the members about the what are the various activities done by life members for the life members in the region. The third section we have planned is about a meeting. We want to meet all 16 LMAG chairs in region 10 on 28th, where we'll be discussing their various problems, what they're facing, how we want to do, how we want to go ahead, and what plans they have made or any suggestions they have. We'll discuss and then finalize the recommendation. The fourth track we have planned is on first about the IEEE V tools and IEEE collaborate. Then the last session is about IEEE milestones on second, which will be handled by LMAG Tokyo. This is all the plan. In addition, we have organized a life member photo session competition, which is open to all life members, and they can show their photography talents and get awards in 2 categories, one for himself and other is for their section. They can earn some money as a reward. Then further we have going to make presentations in 2 parts. I am not able to see the life member committee chair, T. Scott Atkinson. He was supposed to be here, and he was going to talk about what are the life member committee dues. Means we have agreed to divide our sessions in 2 distinct parts. One is what is at MGA level he is doing, what is the basic functions of life member committee, and the other was to be done by here. What are the regional life member coordinator, what are the functions, and LMAGs, that will be discussing in 2 sessions separately. So now CC is not there. I think I will take on his session. And can I ask that present his slides?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Next slide, please. Now, what we wanted to cover at chair of life member committee at MGA level, the first was who we are, what we do, life member funds, life member major programs, life member affinity groups, what we need, and what are the questions. Next, please. Now, life member committee is a joint committee of IEEE MGA and IEEE Foundation. LMC projects reports to MGA board through member engagement and life cycle committee. LMC reports to the IEEE Foundation board, and LMC has 9 voting members. Out of this, 1 is past chair, 1 is current chair, 5 are the representatives appointed by IEEE MGA, and 2 members are appointed by Life IEEE Foundation board. So that makes a 9 members and 10 regional coordinators from region, which are non-voting members. And LMC operates as a foundation committee. Next, please. What we do. The activities, we manage the IEEE Life Members Fund. Every year we are making a plan, how much fund we have to get, where to get, and all those type things are being planned. Solicit and encouragement donation from life member funds. So we have chalked out some plans how to get donations from life members. So a lot of life members are being approached by regions that whatever is their comfort level, as per their comfort level, they can make the donation either on annual basis or on a monthly basis. That is agreed while they make a commitment how much they are going to donate. Provide support to activities for 104 life member affinity groups and 33,000 for plus life members. Out of this 104 life members, 16 life members, 16 LMAGs are in region 10 and about 20,000 life members, 2,000 life members in region 10. Other members are from other regions. Providing funds for programming grants and special projects for LMAG and other IEEE functions. Next, please. Now, life member fund supported by donations primarily by life members. There is no other source. Main source of funding is by donations from the life members. Funds of all life member committee program and administration experiencing 5-year decline and donations and amounts for donation. Last 5 years, there's substantial reduction in the donations. So this year again, some plans have been made up at different levels, 20 million, 30 millions. So it will be tried. It is already trial and started. We are not yet stabilized how much we are going to make commitment. Maybe by end of this year, we'll able to make up mind how much we have to plan and which we can achieve realistically next year. Current income not meeting requests for funding programs, grant, special projects and administration. Next, please. Life member committees major programs are LMAG activities, which are subunits in regions. Regional student activities, some funds are given by region. Student activities also, I think we also asked for this year, but I'm not aware of the status, whether they got it or not. Then newsletters to life members. Every year, e-newsletters are being sent, but this year we have planned that we'll send at least 2 e-newsletters to every life member and 1 printed copy of newsletter. Some members who do not want soft copy will be given a printed copy. Then student programs, oral histories, life members and awards. Next, please. Life member affinity groups. Currently, there are 103, it's not 100, it's 104 LMAG in region 10, and each LMAG is given $2,000 per year as a reimbursement for doing their activities. This is in addition to what some funds are provided by region to LMAGs. This LMC also provides up to 2,000 per year, but there are certain conditions to that. For these funds, they have to take LMAG's prior approval, and regional life member coordinator is authorized to approve the projects and sanction the amount, but reimbursement is done through LMC. Regional coordinators work with their LMAGs, encourage activities for their life members. For each LMAG, there are defined activities and they are supposed to do that. And for doing that activities, if they want funds for carrying out, they can approach LMSC with the approval of regional coordinator. They can get money for that and they can get reimbursement in 2 ways. Either spend the money and claim reimbursement directly, or they can draw the funds from the section and use it. Then in that case, once they submit the bills, reimbursement comes to section. Then approve funding that's already covered, working with regions to establish new LMAGs when sufficient number of life members exist. This year, because of this pandemic, we are not able to, we were aiming to have 3 new LMAGs, but we could make only 1. That is, we established Hong Kong this year. Maybe we can get 1 or 2. We are still trying. it may happen in the next 2-3 months. Next, please. What we need is more engagement of live members, new live member affinity groups, encouraging more and large live members fund donations. Next, please. I think that's the end of it. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Astana, for the information of the live member and then the affinity group. Okay, and we regret that Scott cannot be with us today. Yeah, so we come through all of the presentation, and now we come toward the end of the opening ceremony. Evel, can I have the slide, please?
Yeah.
Yeah, so finally, I would like to thank you and appreciate on behalf of the organizing committee for the address for the IEEE leadership, and also the chair of the student YPV, and then all the coordinator, also our general chair, and also the volunteer that fully support to make this first virtual Congress happen in the region 10. Yeah, so next slide, please. Next slide, please. Yeah, so as the all4 coordinator has explained about the program that we divided into 4 tracks. So it will be happen start from today and will going on until the October 4th. And actually in the morning, we already have one session that concludes successfully is on a humanitarian activity that so it's the first one before the starting of the Congress. Yeah, and then
Sorry to interrupt you. Yeah, next session, IEEE volunteering platform will start at 15:30.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna close it soon. Yes, yeah. So so we have the program that following this. Tomorrow we have educational activity, and as you can see, we have all the student track until 25th of September. And next, please. Yeah, and then we have women engineering and live member and then YP. Okay, so you could see this program on the webpage. Okay, we're gonna have the closing ceremony on the October 4th in the afternoon. And next, please. So we have all of information on our webpage, SYWL2020.IEEE10.org, and also on the Facebook. Of course, all of the program on each track, it will be eligible for the nominated volunteer. I mean, from the sections. And I believe we have well over 400 volunteers, but mainly every session would be live streamed via our Facebook. So you could always, I mean, attend the session. Yeah, so before closing, I was asked by Amy to get one group photo again. So please turn on because we have Lisa that coming in. Yeah. Okay, so Evel, could you help please take the photo? 1, 2, 3. Okay. Yeah. So everything all right? Yes. Okay. So thank you very much again. I would like to declare the closing of the opening ceremony and pandemic to opportunity. I hope you all will enjoy and I mean engage with our session that we have all over 2 weeks long. And see you again at the closing ceremony. So thank you.
Thank you, Swati. Bye-bye.